like as you're speaking, you can see how one thing leads into the other, which leads into the other. Like something as small as just researching a little bit more about English during your school times created a link in the chain, which led to you rapping that song and finding your gift, which created a link in you exploring that passion, which created a link in now you going into producing for a music platform, which created like all of these things are intertwined. And I think it's so important for us to talk about that because a lot of the times when I work with people, especially when we bring people on into what we're doing, I see that there's often a disconnect. And the disconnect that I see, and I think it might be something that we experience as young people in South Africa. I don't know if it's just young people in general, in South Africa in general, but something that I definitely noticed is that we often, sometimes we don't invest our full selves into what we're doing because we don't see the next link in the chain, right? If you don't, and you might also be someone who's listening to this who might only have one or two links so far in your chain, but there's so much more beyond that that will come beyond. But if you don't focus on building those links, if you're not investing fully in what you're doing, if you're not putting your all into it, those following links can be lost. So like I think a lot of people's journeys kind of end early because they haven't even begun, because they haven't put in, or they haven't built those links in the chain. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense. Perfect sense. Because looking back at how I started and where I am now, if it wasn't for me saying, I can try this and I can go for this, then I wouldn't be where I am today. So I think also me being patient and saying, you know, let me try new things. Let me not be stuck in one position. Um, because there are times in my life whereby everything just went south. I was asking myself, like, what is happening? My mental health was, yo, it was bad. But
Could we talk about that? Because that's something that we often deal with. And I think it's also emphasized by the digital world. Like it really gets amplified